my top 3 cav marches in Rise of Kingdoms, and why am I choosing these 3 cav marches. I'm gonna give you full details in this video if you're planning to do a lot of cav marches for the field, and I will expand it to a 4th and a 5th for those players who really want to roll out with a lot of cav marches. Hello everyone and welcome back to another Rise of Kingdom video. This is Legend Ronnie, and today we are dedicating this video for cav players, as I was called a cav player as well, and I still am. But I have to give you a little bit of history about what just happened. So back in the days when KVK1 was KVK1, like the OG KVK1, there wasn't a lot of commanders into the game. So the only 2 cav commanders that we had was Minamoto and Double C back at those times. And trying to do a lot of cav marches for the field was nearly impossible unless you're using a lot of epics. I have a lot of videos where I used Pelagius and Double C, where I used Babers with Sun Tzu. As you see, it has 16 million kills, where I was using Belisarius with Barca for debuffing capabilities, because Barca does a 5 seconds debuff. So there was a lot of reasons why I was doing a lot of cabs. They were also very fast, and people were a little bit noobish as well back in the days, and they were just retreating, so it was very easy with fast marches to just chew them down, which was quite cool. But as the game was progressing and as the game was advancing, I started to realize that adding mix, adding a little bit of Archer in there, it's starting to increase the potential of what you can do on the field. So for example, I started to add YSG and Frederick, and then Alex was released at a later date, and I started to add Alex as well. Of course, before Alex we had Saladin, we had Genghis as well, which I added those too, but I added YSG, then Edward was released. So I had Edward and YSG, I had Alex as well as a march, so I had 1 archer, 1 infantry, and 3 cabs. So I was slowly reducing the epic commanders, and I was replacing them with legendaries. Long story short, I started to realize the beneficial effects of having some of the best marchers from each troop type. And later on, Guan was released. I had Guan and Alex, and I think that pair I used it for like 3 years. 3 years. Or let's just see when Guan was recruited. Right, 2020, so more like 2 years or 2.5 years, something like that. Guan and Alex, which is still a very long time. And what I have been doing throughout the time, I was just adjusting these marches. So now that we have Scipio, for example, I bench Alex, not because he's not good, but because there is a better version of Alex, as I'm only doing 1 infantry march. So I'm doing a Guan Yu with Scipio now, which is working really great. And as part of archers, I also went pretty deep on archers as well, because I enjoyed the archers a lot, being very good for the field as either high nuking or debuffing. So for example, when Tomiris, after I expertise my Tomiris, I started to see the potential of Edward and Tomiris on the field. That was some of the most amazing moments. The first amazing moment for archers, it was when I started using Edward and YSG. But the second best one was when I started using Edward and Tomiris, because the debuffs that it was doing, and at that time there wasn't many marches that were doing a lot of debuffs. You were killing infantry like so fast, even with cabs or whatever you were having. It was helping tremendous. Kinda fall in love with archers a little bit as well, and I went in parallel with cabs and archers. So for example, if you look at the archers, I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 max archers. Amanitar is obviously for garrison, Henry is for rally, Cyrus, I'm not very happy with him, and Tatmos is just him. And that's it. Now unfortunately, I'm not sure if Tomiris will ever have a comeback, but let's just leave that for another video. So let's go to our 3 calves, right? Because that's what the main topic of the video is. But I just want to give you a little bit of a background, like why am I not doing a lot of calf marches? So that is one reason, because there is so many good marches that you can do from the other troops type that you're losing. Like, just to bring out a Genghis just for the love of doing only calves, you are not beneficial, you are not effective on the battlefield. First of all, you have to think the amount of equipment for calves, like how much calf equipment you have to do, and you'll be stuck with just a lot of calf equipment. So my opinion, 3 calf marches is more than enough right now for the field. Even though, like I said, I'm gonna say a 4th, I'm gonna say a 5th as well, and considering all the leadership commanders that we have, you could probably do 7 calf marches for the field. So you're being a little bit more optimal in my opinion, even your troops, right? Because you're daily training all type of troops as well. So in all the aspects of the game, it kind of helps if you're building mix, if you're doing some marches from each. Now the first march from the calves, from the top 3, is going to be Attila Nevsky. I talked about this in many of the other videos, so I don't want to go really deep into it. I really like how the march works, and I really like that it keeps my Nevsky on the field for longer. The second calf march that I would do is Saladin and William. Saladin and William has been a really good OG pair that he's been there for a very long time, and they have been working really well for a very long time. And the third go-to pair, the third best in my opinion, is going to be XY, and this is gonna sound crazy. There's gonna be 3 options. One is gonna be Minamoto, but the problem is Minamoto is a pay-to-win commander. You can only get this from the VIP. And then we have the leadership commanders that you don't really need to pay for them. So if you want to do the third one, XY, the way I want to do it, XY and Mehmed, this is what I like. I like it a lot, XY and Mehmed. I've done this march many times. Even in Canyon, I'm using it sometimes. It's doing really great. And of course, for those who max Honda, XY and Honda can also work. I'm personally not very happy with Honda as a second in command. I mean, if you maxed Honda, I would prefer him first, but a lot of people like him as a second in command. Me personally, I would go with a Mehmed, especially that you can have the museum, you can get this from gold keys. It's just a cheaper, nicer version. I want to give a little bit of options as well. This is the top 3 calf marches that I would do. So as a 4th march, if you really want to go out with so many calf marches, you can do Bertrand first, and you can hide your Genghis behind Bertrand, because Bertrand doesn't have a very fast skill rotation, and Genghis will help him out with 100 rage reduction. So that would be a pretty decent and solid march if you really care of doing so many calf marches on the field, Bertrand and Genghis. And then if you want to bring a 5th march on the field, that's where Chandra Gupta is coming in place. And then it's entirely up to you. You want to go with a double C. Double C now has a museum with health as well, or you want something more tanky, like you don't want your Chandra Gupta to die right away. You want to put a Takeda, or maybe a little bit more damage, like Jadwiga, right? Because you get the 1500 damage factor, and Chandra Gupta will boost it with 40% damage. So that's a nice combination as well, Chandra and Jadwiga, or Chandra and double C. I used a lot, because on one of my accounts, my Bertrand is maxed. I use Bertrand and double C. It's a very tanky march. It heals a lot. So if that's something you want to try, definitely go for it. So yeah, you can definitely do 5 marches of calves. You can definitely do 6. You can definitely do 7. Because like I said, there is a lot of leadership commanders. You have Trajan. You have Mehmed. You have Honda, right? So there is quite many leadership commanders that you could add in the mix with the Cavs if you really want to do 7 marches. But in my opinion, 3 marches is more than enough when it comes to Cavs, and after that rather do some infantry and some archers. That's probably the most optimal way to go with your field fighting marches. What I'm doing right now on the field, I'm doing 2 archers, I'm doing 2 Cavs, and I'm doing 1 infantry. That's what I have done my last KVK. So I have used Attila and Nevsky, which I already mentioned it, and the second march I was using XY and Mehmed. I've tried XY and Saladin, wasn't very happy. XY Minamoto is working good. My XY was always a target, XY and William, because you know William buff is undeniable, and I was planning to go Saladin and William and completely drop XY because they were just melting my XY. Like, I was keeping him behind. The moment he was getting in, they were instantly switching on my XY, and he wasn't even able to do 1 rotation of skills, and they were just destroying it. So I decided to put Saladin and William rather than bringing XY, and ultimately I didn't have the chance. So probably this next KVK I will, just to let you know about XY, that it is a target on the field. The poor XY. So let me know in the comment section below what you think about these top 3 marches, and I'll see you on the next video. This is your boy Legend Ronnie signing off. Peace out, yo, and take care. See you on the next one, and stay safe out there, my friends.